So this channel is not sponsored by Princess Auto. I kind of wish it was. So anyway, I bought some new tools. The Spraytek is about to go outside. It's probably today. I'm hoping today. So I thought I would show you guys what I'm up to in the shop. It's a big mess, of course. Always is. There it is. I got a new tool. Ordered it on Wednesday and arrived yesterday. Or was it Tuesday and arrived Wednesday? Whatever. It's a V-Vor. Came on Amazon. Amazon is selling V-Vor too. Got some welding to do, so I got the welder. This little jack, air jack. That's the info on it. This has got two valves, the one for lowering it, one for raising it. We're gonna test it out. Oh, you know what? I gotta fix the compressor. The hose got cut. Something sharp fell on it and cut the damn hose. So I'm gonna put these parts on. Comes with a cheap little clear plastic hose. Don't like that too much, but it's the only thing I see I don't really like. I don't expect this tool to last 20, 30 years, but it's going to be handy. Oops, gotta put this on first. Yeah, I'm tired of pumping a jack. And when the jack I bought a few years ago is leaking oil now. So nothing's made to last anymore. It used to be one of these trolley jacks, hydraulic trolley jacks for going lifting cars. 20, 30 years ago, you'd buy one, it would last 15 years. Eventually it would start leaking oil. But now, you're lucky if you get 3 years out of one before it starts to fall apart. I don't know if you're supposed to cut that loose. I think I gotta cut that. I'm gonna cut 6 inches off that thing. Way too long. There's another thing I just got recently is a Leatherman. My first ever Leatherman. And it's the simplest one. It was pretty well the cheapest one, but it's the one I wanted because I don't want 50 gadgets on it. I just need a knife. And then the pliers are kind of handy. And you got a wire cutter all in one there. It's kind of like a needle nose. And then the bonus has got a couple other things in here, like a file and something else. Phillips and a regular screwdriver tip. I think they all come with something like that. And then on this side, that's where you got your file. A little pick with a knife blade on the end of it. Can opener, of course. But mostly what I really wanted was the knife blade, and the bonus is I got a pair of pliers too. And then I dropped it out on the ground last night and just about lost it. Oh. That's okay. So we got to hook up a little air fit in here, and then I got to screw in the I got a wrench for this. So I've been working on a Cushman. We're going to convert that into a truckster. I'm hoping I can take the tank off today. I don't know about the rest of it, but hopefully both. They've had it off. The mechanic that worked on that, I've been in touch with him. I've been communicating back and forth. He told me that that's the reason why they got rid of it, is because of the tank started leaking. It's a fiberglass tank, so he fixed it a few times. And finally he said, get rid of it and get something newer. So I don't want it as a sprayer, so that's why I'm gonna get that tank off today. And I have to winterize it because it will be it'll get damaged by if it freezes. It's been in the garage here for 3 weeks, I think, or maybe a month now. I don't know. It's coming out today. You know that foamer. It's got a little foam on it. Friggin' hell, it's still too long. It's kinky. That's kind of stupid. Yeah, I gotta cut it even shorter than that. Maybe I should have left it on. So I worked on the brakes. I ordered a few parts, not too much. The back of plates, the drums are okay. The shoes were kind of one side were finished. But the mechanic gave me all the parts that he had left over from this that he didn't need. And in that little box of parts was a brand new set of shoes for one side only. So I didn't have to buy brake shoes. I had to buy a spring kit and seals in that one bearing, which in hindsight I probably didn't need that bearing. Because I hadn't looked at the old one yet. And then I bought studs. I bought the studs off Amazon. So the plan is over the winter to build a little dump box for it. I've got the hydraulic cylinder. I've got some options for a hydraulic power pack. I might buy a new power pack because I want to power up and power down. I don't have a power pack like that, so. Hello. Yeah. What's that? That's a Cushman Spraytek. We're going to convert to a truckster, which is basically a golf course kind of machine. Or if you went to a big stadium, like a football stadium or a baseball diamond, you'd see this kind of machinery. Mostly you'd see it with either they have a Holster and there's a truckster. Truckster's a little pickup box. It's like a miniature pickup box. It's for off-road use. And then you've got the Spraytek, which is this one here. I don't think Cushman make the sprayer for it. It's made by a couple of different companies. I think one company makes a tank, another company makes the controls. All these controls up here. These are all solenoids that open and close each of these 3 zones. And then this one here, I don't know what this one does. That probably turns on the whole thing. So you got all these hoses, and then you've got your, when you turn it off, it bypasses and goes back into the tank. So here, yeah, that's your inlet right there. That's coming off the pump. This is your return to the tank. So if you shut these 4 off, and it returns, and if you have any of these 3 on, the pressure goes through these 3. Quite the system. It sprays a 20-foot path of pesticides, and you're not allowed to use pesticides anymore in this country, so we're not allowed to use. I think it's what the law is. The cosmetic use of pesticides is prohibited in this area. So, what do you need a sprayer for anymore? I don't know. So that's why it's coming off. That's why the golf course got rid of it. They were going to scrap it. I thought it runs perfect. It's got a 970cc Suzuki motor, 4-cylinder, liquid cooled, really powerful. It runs really good. Needed a few things done to it. So I did a few things to it. Now I'm at the point where the sprayer's coming off today. So that's why I give you guys I haven't made any videos because I'm just too. I spent the whole morning on a public works website, government website, trying to get a PBN number, procurement business number. They don't make it easy. So I had to remember through the revenue agency what my, because I use my name, I think I use my name, middle initial, and my last name. My first name, middle initial, and last name. And I couldn't remember that. That was like a couple of years ago. To register for a, what was it to register for something? Can't remember what. So then when I tried to access it again today, or last, I think this has been over a week I've been trying to do this. I had to remember that. So I would kept, and it doesn't, it just tells you that you've done something wrong. That's the way these videos, that's the way these websites work. They don't really care if they help you or not. So I just kept getting a message back that the information is not accurate. It's rejected or whatever. So it's okay, fine. They don't want me to work for them, I won't work for them. They don't have anybody else, so they need me. So I set up a meeting with a specialist, and he told me what to do, which I had already tried a bunch of times. So I just kept trying different things to, now I gotta write it all down now, because in a year from now I won't remember again. So, is that going on? I can't tell, I don't think that's going on. Okay, it's like a hydraulic fitting there. I gotta fix the compressor because my jack is so crappy it leaks down, and I think what happened was the backer plate on one side's got a sharp edge on the bottom. The backer plate slowly leaked down over 3 or 4 days. I was working, I wasn't here, and it touched the floor. Guess what was underneath? Right there. You guys could see it almost. I should have put a jack stand there, I didn't. It must have laid on the air hose for 3 days or 4 days. And when I did jack it up, finally it punctured a hole in the air hose. So now I gotta fix that. That was a really good air hose. Can't find good stuff anymore. I think the first 10 years I had that compressor, I must have went through 5 hoses. It has not cracked and fallen apart. Everything cracked and fell apart, literally crumbled in your hands after 5 or 6 years. So sometimes after 2 years. So that's the hose that got damaged, the good hose. Which was one of the hoses I was going to throw in the garbage anyway. So we're going to get that brake drum back on. This side's completely finished. The only thing I got to do is bleed the brakes, and I don't have anybody to help me do it, so I got to figure out a way to do it by myself. And this other side too, the same thing. I got to bleed the brakes, install the drum, and reinstall the wheel. I'm gonna have to take the wheel off that side because anyway, I thought I'd do a live video. I didn't think it would take so long to put this thing together. I don't know how long my hose is going to last. That's on. I'm putting Loctite in these bolts. This is the hose they gave me. That's what's holding the thing up. I don't know how long that's going to last. Should be a metal. Should be better than that. Should be double or triple here hose. This thing's weird. Got my Loctite. It's in good. It's got a shelf like this stuff, so I know this bottle's getting old. Wait. So it's got, weather's getting cold. I haven't heated the shop at all. I will crank the heat up in here soon. I haven't spent enough time in here to justify that, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna install a furnace up near that light up top there. I think you guys can see the light coming from the light. Right on this side of that beam, we're going to install an electric furnace, and that'll be our source of heat for this winter until something better comes up. And I'll have a thermostat installed somewhere, probably down here on the wall. Probably put it over in this corner, over in that corner over there. Because it's going to be on top of the wall. I'll probably just come right down. I got some ready rack over here. We'll come down the ready rack and install it right on the ready rack, I guess. So come down the stairs, I can turn the furnace on or off, set my temperature. So it'll come on when I'm going to work in here, and then I shut it off when I'm not working in here. The way I've been doing it, I have this little electric heater. It's up on the top shelf. It's one of those 4,000 watt shop heaters. It's kind of an industrial heater, 30 amp. And I have to let it run all night because it just puts out so little heat that the only way to warm this place up is to turn it on the night before. Well, it's costing a lot of money in heat. Just sucks your money out of your wallet like no tomorrow. But it did work. You know, we were able to work comfortably here last minute. I turned it on and I knew we were going to spend quite a bit of time in here, and insulated. That back wall wasn't insulated. Yeah, corner over there. Can you see the gray toolbox? There's a gray toolbox on the wall. That whole section was about 10 feet past the window, I think. 10 or 12 feet was not insulated until the end of last winter, like around February. Christmas comes and then you can't really work in here. And then so I was pretty happy to get all the walls insulated. You live in Canada here, I'm telling you, it's common for it to go down to minus 20 Celsius. What's that? Fahrenheit. This is terrible. You got Phillips heads on one side and the bottom, and 10 millimeter on the top. Looking forward to using this thing. We got to do this is the time of year we do our tire changes. So we go from summer, all seasons, to winter tires by law. Where we are here, we have to. You can be fine if you don't put winter tires on. You can get an exemption for, I think it's 5 days, 4 or 5 days, I think. And I think it's for people who decide they're going to travel down to Florida or something. Go south. Go where it's warm. I'm not going to drive down there with winter tires on. So, you get an exemption, enough time to get down there. I guess on the way back you're gonna risk having a fine. I don't know how it works. I don't understand. Stupid. It probably helps a lot. Probably reduces the amount of accidents on the road. Okay, now that's hooked up. I don't like these manuals. These two manuals go like this. To me, they're way too big. They should be down like that. I might cut them and weld them down. I might cut this right off. Cut that little plate and cut this back about 3 inches and weld it on, but I'm not going to do it today. Let's see, we'll try it, see how it's like. I think that handle should be down there. Yeah, put a little mark. Let's see. Yeah, it was right there. Two inches. I think that would work. Nice machines. Thanks. Nobody's happy in my family. Nobody's happy that I got this. But I don't think they understand. I have a Toro Workman 2110. It's just a lighter duty version of one of these. It does pretty well everything a truckster will do. It's got the little actuator to dump the box, which basically lift about 20 pounds, maybe 30 pounds. And if you balance things perfectly in the box, it will dump stuff out. But if it's not balanced perfectly, you got to lift the back. It's a pain. It's not a heavy duty machine. And then it's got an air cooled, I think it's 12 or 14 horsepower motor. It's smoking. I think it suffers from, probably never got the oil change at the golf course it was at. So it's got smokes a lot. I think the rings are probably done on it. Anyway, this is an upgrade. This has got a liquid cooled 1000cc motor. The Cushman's got a 250cc, 14 horsepower is around 250. Look at this. This isn't going to hold on there. Look at that. I have to put some glue on there or something. I'll just put a screw in it. Yeah, what can you expect? This one's on there pretty good. So then it's got those CVT transmissions. I had trouble with it last winter. This time last year, I had to cut the old CVT, the secondary clutch. It's a big pulley like this, full of parts. There's spring, there's all kinds of moving parts. If you don't know what a CVT transmission is, like a Polaris or a snowmobile would have this, one pulley gets bigger, so your belt drops down, and the other one gets smaller, and it just gives you an infinite range of speeds. It works okay. It's not the greatest. But the secondary wore out. I changed it. It's working again, but we had like literally a month where I didn't have it. And, I mean, it's just light duty. This thing's got a 4-speed manual transmission, power steering. It's got a high-low range. So if you're really working it hard, you can put it down in low. It's got hydraulic brakes. And it's rated for, I think it's rated for close to 2,000 pounds of towing and cargo. So you can put like 1,880 pounds in the box, if you had a box on it. This sprayer is a 300-gallon sprayer, so it would have close to 3,000 pounds of water in the back. And it's got this reinforcement, this truss underneath the axle. You can see it down there. That's it right there. So it spans the whole width of the whole rear end, and it's just a big steel reinforcement truss that it stops the axles from bending when you put this thing, fill it up with water and then bounce it around. It's made to do an 18-hole golf course. So lots of bumps, and that's a lot of weight for a machine like that. For a pickup truck, that would be a lot of weight. So Let's slowly get this together here. Ever so slow. I'm just gonna put a screw in there now. So it's gonna be winter time pretty soon, man. I don't have my firewood done. That's what I use that Toro for mostly, is firewood. So we got we got about a month and a half before real winter sets in. Although we got snow this week, so it's been a bit of early, and it looked like it was going to stick around, but it pretty well all melted yesterday afternoon, and it's still warm today. So it may be gone by the end of the weekend, maybe. I'm supposed to go down below freezing again the next couple of nights, but I don't like these screws. This crap. Got those Teflon nuts. I don't trust those. I put them off tight too. If I decide to modify these handles, I'll have to deal with that. See how big it makes it. Okay. I don't think this style jack was around like 10 years ago. I've never seen one until just recently. So I'm wondering how wobbly it will be when it's at the top. Gotta get an extension. So I want to try it out today. I have to do tire changes on 2 vehicles. And my son is going to do his. He's got 2 vehicles, him and his girlfriend. And that's what we're going to use it for. An extension. Can't get in there. Can't get on that bolt there. I should have done the handles first. Anyway. Just talking to an engineer buddy of mine. A couple of days ago, Wednesday, I went over there and saw him. Was it Wednesday? I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. He was saying everything now is synthetic rubber, except for maybe like airplanes. Anything that life and death is a factor. So airplanes cannot have blowouts and flat tires. So they have pure natural rubber, and then something else. Cars don't have pure rubber. They have a percentage of pure rubber, and the rest is all synthetic rubber. That's why all our rubber today falls apart. I've never seen rubber fall apart like recently. You buy a pair, I used to buy a pair of rubber boots that they'd last 10 years. Now, a pair of rubber boots, 2 years maybe. If you're lucky. So, yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm being pessimistic here. think so. Just corporations just want to maximize their profits. They don't care about. They figure, they look at it like, well, you'll be buying new rubber boots every 2 years instead of every 10 years. We still got to fix our hose on the compressor. It's just a headache. I got to find a better location for the compressor too. It's not a good spot. Ever since we did this renovation in the shop, that compressor's kind of got the shaft. You can see it. It's underneath the landing right there. But then we got a bunch of plywoods there. All that plywood's all gonna go. That's all going this before Christmas. I hope to have that all sorted out. We're either gonna cut it up and burn it, or we're gonna store it somewhere other than there, because I lose a whole strip of the shop, and then I can't access anything underneath that landing. See, the welder goes in there, this big red welder, and then Ben saw at the beginning of the video, it goes in there. Well, you can't get anything in or out there. Kind of jam, like a traffic jam in there. So the plan is to put that plywood. I got a little bit of room upstairs. Might put some up there, or I might just get rid of it, throw it out, burn it outside somewhere. Can't keep everything. There we go. Fine. Okay, that's it. I think I'm gonna test it with the holes broken. Nah, I better fix it. Okay, that's together. I can handle this. I got some contact cement, probably what I need. There we go. It's a Vivor little air jack. I still have to install this little fitting here. This is the style fitting. I wish I could go back in time, and everything comes with this. Everything I had was like this when I first started out. Not everything I had. A few things I had were like this, and I ended up sticking with that. I should have switched over to these. So this is what came with the jack. I got Teflon tape here. Put some Teflon tape on there. That goes in there. So then you want to raise it, you just open this valve. If you want to lower it, you just open this valve. It releases a bit of air, and then there's a that must be a pressure relief valve. You could lower it with that too, I guess. Seems pretty stiff. It's got a hell of a big capacity here. We're talking 3 tons right there, 6,000 pounds. Yeah, warranty. They warranty this. So there you go. Put some Teflon tape on that fitting, and then we'll give it we'll try it out. Bring in closer, because I don't think you guys can see very much. I'm gonna go look at the Cushman. I gotta undo all the bolts for the tank. I gotta drain all the water out of the. I don't think the pump's got any water. I know that foamer's got water in it, so that's the wrong way. Put some of this on. Yeah, we're gonna run this for about an hour. We're gonna do what's really cool about this Cushman is it's got the hinge pins. It's made to have a dump box on. It's the same machine, but all the pump hydraulic pump, the controls, all that are all not, they're not attached to the machine. There's a water pump for the sprayer in the same location. So that's why I'm looking at buying a 12 volt power pack. I think I can get one on Amazon for about 300, 350. And then I have to buy a hose, two hoses. I gotta buy up. I might have to buy a hose. I have some hoses. I might not have to. Can you see what I'm doing? Putting that fitting on there. So that's ready to go. This thing's heavy. It weighs like 25 pounds. I didn't think it'd be so heavy. Hey, let's not knock over this. Loctite. The tip is not stuck inside the cap. I've had this forever. I'll go get some contact cement and smear some on where that handle goes. Try that first. I had to redo the upholstery on the seat, and I had to fabricate a passenger seat. I'm talking about the Cushman. So, and I have the back for the passenger. I kind of fabricated that. That was a little more complicated. And it just needs to be, I got the foam and everything all done on it. Just need to reupholster it. Put the upholstery on that and we're done. Those things are done. Bolt it on the machine. I'm looking forward. I don't think I'll be using it. They might not be using it at all this winter, but next spring it's going to be in action. So I got some of this LePage Ultra Robust, heavy duty. Okay, whatever you say. Yeah. Yeah, we got the screwdriver. We'll use this. And I'm using the brush out of the old empty can. If I can get it out. Just kind of dry it out a little bit. Not too bad, but once you buy this stuff, you might as well use it because in a couple of years it dries out and it's no good anymore. So I don't know if this is going to work because I think I'm going to have to slip that on there when it's wet. That one's holding. Okay. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. If it dries, it might work. Not the way you're supposed to do it. If it doesn't work, I'm going to put a screw in up from the bottom right there. I'll probably do this one too. 2 screws. I might do a screw anyway because I don't think that's going to stay on. Okay, let's look at the Cushman. I'm going to go handheld, and I know I'm in a vertical format here. I try to get it in the different orientation. Maybe I can do it right now. No, I don't see that. Nope, there's no option. I don't know why they make it so hard. Oh, but there, we can get the flash going here. And we got the light on. Okay, we'll turn that back off. I don't think I need that. No, it's off. All right, so here, we got one bolt here. I think that's a bolt right there behind that hose. There's another one there. 3. Is there one in the front here? So that could be one right there. Battery box. Possibly. And then here's the seats that I reupholstered these 2 seats. I redid this one. And then I copied it, kind of made it. Because it's a sprayer, there is no passenger seat. You're not supposed to have passengers when you're spraying. So I just took a piece of plywood, cut it, stapled it on there. I cut these corners and I sewed them so that there was a huge bunch of material when I did this one here. It didn't turn out very nice. Still not the nicest, but I don't know. I think it's acceptable. So then I got to put screws up from the bottom on this piece of sheet metal underneath here. This is rusted out because water gets in between the seat. This is back. I think that's the front. This is back right there. I gotta pay. I think I had it backwards. I think this is the front here. I don't know. So then I made a kind of a copy of one of these. You can get all this stuff on eBay, or you can get it at different sites. There's golf course liquidating places that liquidate old equipment. So you can buy parts for these Cushmans. Nothing's cheap though. Like nothing. The parts for this are unbelievable. Very expensive, but it is a good machine, you know. So I mean, golf courses, they have probably a really good budget for equipment. They got the most expensive equipment in the world. So in here is the motor. That is, believe it or not, I couldn't believe that that's a 4-cylinder, because look at my hand. It's like literally 2.5 inches shorter than the valve cover from the tip of my little finger to my thumb. But there's 4 spark plug leads right there. There's this distributor cap with 4. There's 4 spark plugs over. They're in the book. It shows you a Suzuki 3-cylinder and it shows you a 4-cylinder. So there is a 4-cylinder. There's your little air filter over there. Air filter housing. It draws air in from above the rad over there, the side, which is good because that's a problem with the Toro. It sucks dirt, sucks right out underneath. So the wheels raise up dust and dirt, and the breather just sucks it right up. This is the pump right here. I'll turn that flashlight back on. So there's the pump. It's a huge pump. That black cast iron thing. There's an electric clutch controlled by this switch right here. Spray pump. Do not run pump dry. And then right here is your choke. And back here, when I pressure washed it, this sticker came off. That's your high-low range. And it does work, even though the cable's been touching the muffler for who knows how many years. Right down there, that's the cable resting right on the muffler. On the exhaust pipe, not the muffler. So, needless to say, I probably need to replace that cable. I don't really want to, because I think any part that you buy for this is like $300 and up. So I changed the throttle cable right here. I left quite a bit there. I think I need to cut that a little shorter. I reused this part of that plastic exterior of the cable, and I just changed the inner part. I think, no, maybe I changed the whole thing. I can't remember now. Yeah, I think I changed the whole thing. Or I just slipped this off. This might have come off the end. And I put it, yeah, I think that's what I did. I put that on there. That's the first thing I did because the cable I threw it out recently, I think just recently. But no, I didn't throw it out. I'm planning on throwing it out. This is the cable right here. That's what was left of the old cable. It was frayed right down to like literally. It didn't snap. I think I cut it, but that's all it was left. So it needed that, and I think the dealer probably wanted $300 for that. So I got it on Amazon for $8. And I had to get these universal fittings. These things here that clamp onto a cable. Rotate device back. Okay. It's telling me, yeah, right there. So I had to put that. It's funny, I was watching a video of a guy who's a pretty popular channel now. And he was just talking about these things. You just clamp on anywhere you want. So that's a screw with a little cylinder type of thing. You run your cable through, you tighten up the screw, and there you got yourself that little ball on the end of the cable, anywhere you want to put it. That's what I needed. So what else did I do to this? I did put new sheet metal over the muffler. I cut off the old sheet metal. I thought this hole might be for checking the oil. It might be. You can get the dipstick through here. But if the seat's bolted on there, what good is that? Unless the seat has an option to have hinges or something. But, you know, it's just as easy to me to flip this up. And you can see everything. I do need to do an oil change on it. So today what I'm going to do is slide underneath there and try and find out if I can get that oil filter. And then some bleed screws. See that little screw right there? There's one on the bottom, same as that right there, to drain the water out of that. I don't think there is any water in it, but if there is, it'll freeze and break that pump. So that pump is worth like a lot of money. I won't be, if it did break from freezing, I wouldn't replace it, but there's the emergency brake cables right here. That's the two cables. You see, they're kind of working. I don't know. I hope they work, but we're not on. There's no big hills where we are here, but I might move this machine to another spot, and it's got hills, big hills. So it'd be nice if that's working. Yeah, there's a little thermostat. This is a governor. Couldn't figure out why. I think the governor's on there because of this pump. So if you decided you wanted to use the sprayer and, you know, the engine will rev up and die down as you use the throttle pedal on the floor here. So the governor is up here. One of these is the governor. I think that's the choke. That's the governor there, I guess. So this moves. It moves the throttle cable. It's supposed to move this cable here. Yeah, that moves the throttle cable, this one here. It's not the governor, that one. This is the governor here. I had it working. Yeah, you can kind of see it moving a little bit there. It doesn't work that great. I don't need it. And this is the choke. No, that's not the choke. It's showing choke here, but that's your throttle. You can set your throttle and set your governor. Then there's your horn. It's got everything here. It's got everything a pickup truck would have. Your volts, your battery's charging, water temperature for your engine, RPMs. Everything works too. Fuel gauge. And then that looks like there should be or might be something there. There's no option to put anything there. But you got all these warning lights. It's kind of a cool machine. It's got, what has it got here? The battery died because I thought I had the key off, but can't get that parking light to work. There, no, it's got high beams. Yeah, Where's the high beam button? Oh, right here. There we go. High beam right there. Low beam. And that what you just came off there was probably the oil pressure. Glow plugs. There is no glow plugs on this thing. It's a gas engine. That looks like a glow plug engine, a light. So there is a diesel model available, a little Kubota diesel. I wish this was the Kubota diesel, but you get what you get for 150 bucks. That's what they paid pretty well scrap metal prices, 150. So I'm okay with that. And besides, I think a full tank of gas on this thing would probably last me over half the summer. So I don't use it that much. So we got to figure out a way to bleed the brakes by myself today. Should be easy enough. There's your brake pedal right here. It's just like brakes on a car. And then up in front, there's a frunk. So I gotta put my phone down. I will open. I need 2 hands to open this thing. Give me a chance. There we go. So this little thing opens up. There's room for a chainsaw or a cordless drill in here. If it starts pouring rain, it's out of the weather. Don't have to worry about it. Came with all these books. Came with this book. That's an owner's manual, operator's manual. Parts are in there too. This has got a list of parts. And then here's another owner's and operator's manual. Parts. So I got 3 books on it. There's some pages missing, I think, in this one. They're in this one here, but they're missing on this one. So, and then in here is the actual factory book. It's glued together. These are just pages put into a binder. That's why there's pages missing. And in this one, there's no pages missing because it's glued from the factory like that. And that's out of the weather. This will stay with the machine. So no matter where you are, you can look up parts or whatever. Not sure about something. But those books only cover the Spraytek. It does not cover the Truckster. So there's your fuse box in here. We gotta add some brake fluid. I think this thing's low right now. Pretty sure this is pretty stiff cap. There we go. Yeah, it's empty. Okay, so I'll get a jug of oil and I'm gonna fill that up. I'm gonna fill it right to the top, and then we're gonna bleed those brakes. I gotta take that wheel off. I don't want to do it outside. I want the brakes to work. I want to know if they work. And we still got a bit of work to do on the other wheel. So yeah, this wheel got damaged. The other wheel's destroyed. They didn't. I don't know if they check or don't check or whatever they do. There's a lot of weight in this machine. So the lug nuts got loose and destroyed the holes. I might be able to build that back up with the MIG welder and then re-drill. I'll have to grind a drill bit to the right angle for that taper on those lug nuts. But I don't think I'm ever gonna have this kind of weight. 300 gallons. That's 3,000 pounds. And you fill it up to there. So I'll have some firewood in here maybe. I might move some topsoil. I might move some crushed stone. I don't think I'll ever have 3,000 pounds in the back. Plus you got all this steel out here. Way out at the back. That's pretty heavy, this thing. So I think the tank comes off. Undo a couple of hoses, and they've had the tank off. I don't think they've taken the back spray boom off. So we're gonna. There's a bolt right there. Yep, there's definitely a bolt in there. So there's 8 bolts, probably. Yeah, a little strap down there. So I'm gonna undo all these bolts. It's loose. can turn it with my fingers. So we're gonna undo all the bolts, undo the hoses, drive it out, take this tank off. Then we'll be able to see how this is attached. I think this is attached to the subframe. I see 4 bolts there. So 2 this side, 2 the other side. But the part that I'm not sure, I want to be able to peel this off without wrecking it, without destroying it. This wire right here. See the wires? And then you got a hose, this little hose right here for your pressure. Oh, somebody's cut that. No, that's not the hose. Is that it there? There's another wire there. Okay, that's all hooked up down there. Okay. There's a lot of wires on this thing. Wires up the yin-yang. Everything works on it. The mechanic told me everything works. So we can lower that boom down. You can turn on the foamer. There's the foamer. It only works on one side. There's some foam in it, a little bit of water left in it, and then all these controls right here. Everything. I don't know what this button does. There's your spray zones, 3 zones. That's how you turn it on and off. This is to turn your spray, don't spray. Is it making foam? Yeah, maybe it's empty now. I've been running the foamer, showing everybody, so. This wire has got to come out. There's a plug right there, I think. But the rest of the wire runs underneath the floor here, runs underneath the entire length of the machine. I took this panel off, and the wire runs out there and down underneath, and up along the frame on this side over here. So I want to pull all that wire out. There's a possibility I could sell that sprayer. If I could get $100 or $200 for it, I'd sell it. So if I can, I will. And if I cut it all up, I'll never be able to sell it. So it's too bad that it's not springtime right now, because I could show people this thing functioning with the attached to the machine. Once you take it off, you're not going to be able to show them it works. But maybe I can hook a battery to it. I don't want to kill the battery. I hook a battery and show them that the foamer works anyway. You know, I don't know. So it's probably going to go for scrap metal. You know, probably this thing here is $300 or $500. This little spray tank, foam tank. So I got to pull that nut off there and drain any. Looks like it's empty now. Oh no, it's up to there. We got lots of foam. So I'm going to pull that. I'll do that outside. I'll loosen that in here, and then when we back it out and drain that out. Yeah, you just put your foam in here. I had this off. Yeah. Anyway, it's like a little gas can, but it's made for foam, so you put soap and water in there, I guess. I don't know what you use in there, but probably a ratio. So many milliliters of soap for water. I don't know. I've never used this. So I think the tank's made by one company. It's got the name on the frame over here. Raven make the controls. It's in the book. So this company here, Spraying Devices, Visalia, California. And it's got the model number and the serial number. So that subframe is all, that's probably going to have to come off the machine. There's the filter right there. I got the filter on the dash over here. This is like a large particulate filter. So you got a screen and this thing full of dirt and leaves and stuff. I don't know. There's a bunch of tips in there. I got a bag full of brand new tips, nozzles that are supposed to attach to these things here. The sprayer they bought is different than this one, so none of these tips are any good to them. So I got a bunch of these. I got a bag full of this stuff. You got 3 positions. You loosen this in here, and you rotate these, whichever one you want. I don't know. They each must do different things, or they must be for different chemicals. I don't know what they do, but just these actuators, I know they're like $500 a piece. The one on the Toro is the same as this, same thing. Little wire, up and down. They both work. So we'll disconnect these 2 hoses and the hose in front. Here is this is the breaker I rebuilt. So, these are used shoes. This thing here was, this pin was bent. I straightened it. I had to weld it. It wouldn't stay. Then I bought a spring kit. I bought new seals. These are new seals. I got to put grease in there. You can see the bearing in there. No, I did grease it, looks like. Can't tell. I think I did grease it. I might put some more grease in. And then we slip our hub and our brake drum on. And then we take this off and put a cotter pin. I've been busy, man. I've been making parts. This is the old hub. I had to buy a new one. On the floor here is the old one. Completely destroyed. There's a piece missing on this. I'll show you the other one. So that slips on there. And then I got the old lug nuts. I'm not sure if those fit on the new one. I got new studs. Lugs. And okay, we gotta bleed that. Okay, well, the first thing I'm gonna do, take the wheel off that side, put the drum on this side. We're gonna bleed the brakes, and then we're gonna go about dismantling this thing. It's the same on this side. 3 bolts. 1, 2. There's 2 for that frame on the back. There's this one. 3, and then 1 in front. 4. So 8 bolts takes the tank off. Once the tank's off, that should be simple after that. Then I can get that wire out of there. I don't plan on taking this frame off today. I just want the tank off today. So I can start measuring and figuring out how I'm going to build a subframe for the dump box. Yeah, there. Oh, these are the hinge pins for the dump box. Your pins go here. So I only have to build half the hinge. And I got pictures of what they're supposed to look like, so from the internet. Okay. So that's what we're doing today. It's got a looks like a small tank, but I don't know. The Toro's got a huge gas tank on it. This one looks kind of small. And it's in a weird location, that cap. Like, how do you fill up your tank at the top? Like, you can only fill it up to the bottom of this cap. So this whole top section is just air in there. I don't know why they made it like that. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's more than kind of weird. It's weird. Why this cap should have been up above here. Should have been above this surface. Should have been out, sticking out the side. Maybe that's because of the truckster. Anyway. Okay, let's get this wrapped up here. We're gonna break for lunch, and then see, there's the truss. You can see it there now. There's one bolt, one U-bolt out here on the end. There's 2 bolts above the axle right there. right center of the screen, one on each side, and then one U-bolt on the other side, and the whole thing drops down. This thing here. That's what gives it enough strength to be able to carry that water tank, because 300 gallons is close to 3,000 pounds. Yeah, unbelievable. So, I think I'm going to wrap up the video. We're going to start putting it together. And we'll drive it out of here today. So I got to start bringing firewood in, so that's the reason why I'm getting it out before it's going to be finished. But I have room, because we switched around some toolboxes. We have this table full of stuff. It's really got no home. So once we find places for that, there's the hub, there's the other hub. And then I can park that Cushman can be parked right here. And then I'll still be able to bring in the Toro with firewood. And then we can work on the dump box. But for now, until the weather gets really bad, we're going to put it outside and leave it out there. It spent its whole life outside. I don't think it's going to hurt if it's out there for a couple more months. Yeah. So we'll just start it and we'll wrap up the video. We'll see how this thing runs, because I haven't started it in about 2-3 weeks or more. Gotta pull that choke up. Needs to warm up. Once it's warmed up, it runs great. I think that's hilarious. High beams. 4-speed. So I can't see the numbers on there anymore, but you got four forward speeds in reverse. It's got power steering. It turns on a dime. Look at how sharp this wheel turns. Power steering. You can see the power steering unit in the front underneath the. There's a second panel in here. I'll show you. So to access the power steering is this panel right here. I don't think you can see it from here. Maybe you can. Anyway, I love it. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to use it. I like it. And that's all that counts. We're going to top it up with some brake fluid. Looks like it's in here. Is it? That's in here. Okay. Okay, we're going to wrap it up. Nobody's watching anyway. Let's check out the motor. Until I screw these seats down, I got to take them off. Yeah. Running like $1 million. There's a little electric clutch in there. Works. I like it. It's awesome. Yeah, that's a wrap. I'm gonna end the video right here.